Hi, I'm Nick, and I like comics.
And I'm Adam, and I know comics.
And I'm Landon, and I comics.
Welcome to another Unscripted episode, where today we are doing a spoiler-free cast of the Deadpool movie.
Or attempt to do a spoiler-free cast of the Deadpool movie.
So as most of you know, the main character of the movie is Deadpool, or Wade Wilson, who is the merc with the mouth. He is actually a mutate. In the movie, they make him look like a mutant. And I know that I might be splitting hairs here, but a mutant is like inborn ability, and a mutate is added.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can get into that in the spoiler cast later, but they kind of, it's a weird how they approach it in this movie.
Definitely.
Though. I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, you definitely see this is a Fox movie, and is Marvel actually attached to this? Or is Marvel still completely separate from this?
Yeah. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is
right.
totally separate.
But I didn't know if Marvel was still producing this at all,
No.
if they were attached to it at all.
No.
But it's nice to see that there is a lot of, X-Men jokes and little tie-ins and nods to the X-Men universe in this movie.
Well, I mean,
nice.
the X-Men universe does own it. So,
Yeah,
I mean, they
right.
can.
I thought overall this was a really fun movie. I really, really enjoyed it. For me, it was basically exactly what I expected it to be, which for me, that's great. I expected this to be hilarious. I felt like almost all of the jokes landed. I thought it was a riot from start to finish, from opening credits to definitely stay after the credits. I'm not going to tell you what happens after the credits, but there's something worth watching after the credits. And I feel like all of that lands. I feel like the violence is just over the top enough for me. Like I was super engaged in it. It's definitely an R-rated movie. It's for violence, vulgarity, there's nudity. Like it earns its R-rating movie. But I don't think that it's like verging on NC-17 or an X rating. I thoroughly enjoyed myself during this movie.
What do you think?
Well, as the known Deadpool disliker, I won't say hater because I have respect for characters, but I liked the movie. It's really fun. It's enjoyable, but I don't think it's a very good movie. It's all flash and no substance, which you would say, oh, well, that's how a Deadpool movie would be. But having read a decent chunk of Deadpool comic books, the best ones aren't necessarily that way. I'm not saying it has to be like a dark, deep-seated history or character, but he has the ability to be more in-depth and still have fun. But the movie was just top-level fun. I mean, it didn't really like dive into good, well-written jokes or anything of that nature. It was just...
it was mainly like almost all one-liners, which I feel like is good. It's going to be a very, very quotable movie. I'm thinking of all these quotes that I am not going to say in this review. But like, what were you wanting out of it to be more substance then?
I think some of my favorite parts of the movie, without trying to spoil it, were after he had actually become Deadpool, in the sense that this change had gone through him, and he was kind of going through this depressed, trying to figure out kind of who he was. Like, I really wish that they would have somehow been able to explore that a little bit more. I think they did a good job of it, but I would have liked for them to go a little bit deeper in that, like throughout, especially through the ending sequence of the movie. I would have liked to have seen that more. Another thing that I've been thinking about, was it a fun movie? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. If someone was like, what kind of movie? Was it a superhero? Was it a comedy? I would say that it was a movie that was raunchy, that had violence, that was fun.
It's Van Wilder with swords and guns.
But it was a romantic comedy. I mean, I firmly believe it was a rom-com.
See, with the exception of a few scenes, I kind of just sat there and thought, this is a Looney Tunes movie.
Which is awesome.
I'm just like, this is
amazing.
This is just Wile E. Coyote getting himself, blown up, or I mean, it's just it's that level of sheer, absolute cartoonish violence, which is, again, what a lot of people expected of a Deadpool movie, and I went in expecting that much, but I don't know why. I sat there the whole time going, well, what's next? Like, what? I'm waiting for something to happen that really is going to impress me, and it never...
Yeah, so for you guys, I can assume that this is definitely a watch one time and call it good.
I'd watch it more than once.
I might watch it again.
I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine a lot, and it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, there's no coming back on that one.
So no, I mean, like we're saying, I think both of us genuinely liked it, and it was fun. I think fun is probably the best description word for it. Was it good? I'm not going to say it was good. I would say it was a fun movie to watch.
Seems fair.
I mean, I might see it again if my wife would let me. She found out there were boobs in it, and she was like, "No, if I would have known that, you wouldn't have gotten to see that." So, I mean, I ducked my eyes.
Yeah.
No, I really did.
I was sitting next to you, Nick.
I know, I did. I looked away.
So for me, I mean, in a sense, I agree with you guys in terms of like, is this a good movie? I feel like it's a good movie. Is it a movie that's going to win awards? By no means. By no means would most superhero movies are not going to win awards. Maybe costume design or like cinematic effects or something like that. But I thought for the budget that this movie had, because it had a much lower budget than almost all superhero movies, they did a lot with it. For this director, I'm trying to remember his name. His last name was Miller.
TJ.
No, TJ Miller's the actor. Tim Miller
sorry.
is the director. This is his first movie. Period. That's awesome. This was an incredible movie for a first movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm super excited for the Blu-ray release of this because I want all of the deleted and extra scenes when people are just riffing between like TJ Miller and Ryan Reynolds. It's gonna be crazy.
I heard that, you know, whenever there's a scene where they're sitting talking about what his face looks like, that Ryan Reynolds and TJ Miller just like went off the rocker, and the director has said that stuff will not even make it to the Blu-ray cut. Like, it was so offensive and so raunchy and so dirty that we are not even going to release it anywhere.
Man. I want to see that.
We have to find it.
I'm sure it will surface somewhere. I will say I thought that the chemistry between the actors was really good. I genuinely think that Ryan Reynolds was born to play Wade Wilson.
Perfect. Yeah,
I mean, I cannot think of a better actor. I think as most people will look at Robert Downey Jr. and see Iron Man or Tony Stark, I think that that's how Ryan Reynolds is now Wade Wilson.
I could almost see it like, even if they did kind of the Samuel L. Jackson treatment, like we now see Ryan Reynolds' face is Deadpool in the comics a little bit. Like, I'd be totally fine with that. It's just like, he is that character, and he's been basically building to play this character since Blade. You know what I mean? He was already practically him. So
the dynamic between the characters, the chemistry between the characters, between Ryan Reynolds and TJ Miller, between, well, Ryan Reynolds and really everyone. Of course, I don't think you can have a character like Deadpool that isn't going to have some sort of camaraderie with whoever he's, you know, talking to on screen. So anyway, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would personally recommend it. I mean, obviously with the caveat of, this is a violent movie. It's a vulgar movie. There's a lot of nudity in it. It definitely earns its rated R rating, but if you're cool with that, go watch it. Like, thoroughly recommend.
It is what it is. It's a Deadpool movie. People lose their heads. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is a fun to watch movie. Again, it is R rated, so keep that in mind. It is not for your children. I know that there are going to be a ton of 14-year-olds that are like, "Oh, I want to go see this movie."
There were a ton of 13 and 10-year-olds at the premiere that I went to, which was like, "Ooh, this is
right." So definitely don't do that. Thank you for watching our spoiler-free cast. Now, if you want to click this link right here and jump over to the Safe States channel, you can watch our spoiler cast.
We spoiled the crap out of it.
Yeah.